Hi, Capricorn. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and I have a reading for you guys today. This is going to be a monthly look at October, a monthly forecast for the month of October. I said that, but I'll say it again. Um, Sorry for the wait, Capricorn. Life has been like really, really, really busy for me recently. So I have just some of the readings. I got as many done as I could. And then this is like the first day where I have time to actually sit down and do them again. I also did get a fresh set. So we are finally back to rocking some nails. But yes, so please do know I apologize for the wait. But let's get into it. If you have Capricorn in your chart anywhere, maybe you vibe with Capricorn, you could be a cross watcher, whatever the case may be here, this reading may resonate for you. As always, this is the internet, so take what resonates and leave what does not. Okay? If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through email or form submission on the website. And Capricorn, we are doing a Celtic cross for you guys today. So the Celtic cross gives me the widest view. Are there 3 here? Did you get 3 for this position? No, just 2. Okay. Gives me the widest view of your month. And just sort of leads me to what I need to talk about, shows me what's going on. Just really gives me the tea. So let's see. Let's dive in. I'm going to get all the cards out, and then we will talk about it. You may be feeling a little stuck right now, Capricorn. When cards don't want to come out, it's a pretty clear indication that the energy around you is a little stagnant, a little stuck. So you may be feeling a little stuck this month. Can I get one more, please? Oh, I mean, you're showing up as your own energy, which is fabulous. Okay, interesting. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Bottom of the deck, Capricorn, represents your challenge because it represents what you're not seeing, what we're not looking at. We've got the Knight of Wands. We've got the King of Wands, and we've got the Nine of Wands. So a lot of fire energy coming out for you guys. You could have fire, like, in your chart, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They're the next readings up. As your challenge, it's interesting, Capricorn. It feels like you're struggling to go after what it is that you want to go after right now. I feel like with the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands, especially in regards to your passions and like where you feel like your road is taking you, it feels like you're struggling to follow it almost here. There's a glare on these. I can't help it. I think it's literally the TV. I think the TV screen, the computer screen. Yeah, it just feels like there's almost this feeling here, Capricorn, of like not allowing myself to. I don't feel like this is like a limitation of the people around you. I feel like this is a self-limitation, like I won't let myself follow this path. I won't let myself go a certain way. And it feels like with the King of Wands here, it circulates your passions and it circulates your goals and like what you want to do here. So let's dive in. Let's see what's going on. So right off the bat, you start with the Chariot. This is a great card, also a card of Cancer. You could have Cancer anywhere in your chart. You don't have to. But with the Chariot as your first card, that's fabulous because it's the card of victory. You know, the Chariot is quite literally, we're going forward, we're heading that way, we're doing it. So it does seem like on the surface, it seems like things are looking really good for you right now. Things may be moving along. You may even be like progressing through work pretty quickly, but beneath the surface, your crossing card is the Three of Swords. So in a Celtic cross, the crossing card is either a help or hindrance. The Three of Swords is a really big hindrance because it's the worst card in the deck and it's heartbreak and devastation. So Capricorn, you're holding on to some sort of again, like I said, this feels beneath the surface for me. This does not feel like people know about this or would even think to ask about this. This feels very hidden. I feel like whoever you are, Capricorn, you could be very secretive, or like not, maybe not secretive, but you keep a lot of things to yourself. It's a lot of like inward and not a lot of outward. Let's see. What else can you tell me about this? What are we holding on to? I mean, Two of Swords. We could have choices to make. Page of Pentacles. Three of Wands. Interesting. Stars at the bottom of the deck. Wish fulfillment, healing, Six of Pentacles. This could be about work, Capricorn. A lot of pentacles here. Two of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Two of Wands. Yeah, babe, I think your biggest issue right now is standing in your own way. It feels like whatever this is, whatever we're talking about here, it's just you not allowing yourself to do it. I don't know how else to say that. I feel like that was kind of abrasive of me. But whatever this is, wherever you want to go, because Two of Wands is like, I'm going somewhere, right? It's a directional card. And then the Two of Swords is needing to make a choice, like remove the blindfold, make your decision and go a specific way. But again, Two of Wands, Page of Pentacles, it's like you're telling yourself, hey, I need to go that way. That's where I need to go. And then in the next breath, you tell yourself, but I'm not really allowed to go over there. So there's this like weird push and pull here, Capricorn, in this reading of, I want to do something, but I'm not allowed. I want to do this, but I'm not going to allow myself. This is definitely feeling like a little bit more like childlike for me. This could be an inner child issue. Whenever, I found that whenever we are dealing with permission issues, like feeling like we need permission from people, we're dealing with the inner child. They're in the driving seat right now. So especially with the Page of Pentacles, the pages are also the inner children. It's almost like you won't let yourself here. But I mean, why? Page of Swords. So another page. It definitely feels like an inner child moment, Capricorn. I would dive into this. When they don't give me specifics about certain things, I just am like, it must not be meant for me to know or meant for me to say. But it feels like right now you should be diving into the inner child healing and into this place of like, why won't I let myself have this? And the fact that I just got hit in the throat as I was saying that, that's a big, like, I'm in my own way and I'm not even talking about it kind of energy here. Because even in your headspace right now, I mean, your next position is the headspace. You've got the Three of Cups. So you may be hanging out with friends, spending some time with, like your interpersonal relationships right now. And your friends may even be lending you ear or lending you counsel about this. But at the same time, it feels like, once again, I'm going to be really blunt here, it's falling on deaf ears. Once again, no matter who's talking to you, Capricorn, it just seems that you just don't want to hear it. Ten of Cups. Let's see. Tower. Judgment. I think you're afraid to be happy. The way my guides are saying this to me is like afraid to settle. Afraid to like calm down, because it's almost like even when I'm talking right now, it's like my guides are literally like, lower your voice. I am a Capricorn. I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart. It's not my sun sign, but like my guides are like, lower your voice. Center. I feel like Capricorn, that's a general like announcement for most of you out there. There's this feeling here of like, lower your voice. Move a little bit softer right now. Come back to yourself, okay? With Judgment, especially like for those of you that are engaged in more energetic energy sort of services. As a reader, I am channeling energy the whole time. So sometimes energy can be really excitable. It can be really loud. It can be really whatever. And I have to remind myself, just like my guides just did for me, like, hey, this is not your energy. Come back to you. Okay. But with the Judgment, the Tower, and the Ten of Cups, I think you're afraid of success. And I think you're afraid to be happy. And that leads you to this fear of settling down. You know, it's like that fear of not settling down in the sense of like settling down and starting a family, but settling within yourself, within your life, finding the way my guys are saying this to me is kind of funny, like husa. You know, they say that a lot in, if you know anyone that practices Reiki, that's a big thing in Reiki, like the husa. It just means like a, I think there's almost like this feeling here, Capricorn, that your month in October is just going to be a month where you need to just breathe out. There's a feeling here when I'm in your energy of held breath. And I feel like I've said this to you before, so maybe this was even in last month's reading also. It just feels like you're constantly waiting to let your breath out. And I feel like it's because your inner child is jostled right now. They're a little like topsy turvy. And I feel like the longer that you ignore the inner child and the longer that you kind of don't give them the attention they're looking for, the more upside down your world is going to feel. Okay? So I would take a moment to again breathe out, center yourself, come back to yourself a little bit here. Because in your physical world, you've got the Five of Wands and the Moon. I feel like for a lot of you guys, there is this really big fear here of just like general conflict. You may shy away from conflict, Capricorn, but it's almost like the way my guides are saying this to me is that you need conflict to grow. You know, when you're reading a book and you know that conflict is inevitable, it's going to show up, and then there's that like steep character development that happens. We need that as well, right? And there, it is okay to not have a lot of conflict, minimal conflict, but it feels like Capricorn right now, you're a little bit, it's like you don't want any conflict at all. You don't want to look at anything or shake the boat in any way. And I'm curious to see when I get the clarifiers out, like what around you is causing the conflict? Like, what are you perceiving as the conflict around you right now? Because this is your physical world. Okay, this is really random. It's a fruit. Papaya. Maybe you ate papaya today. I've never met someone named Papaya. So if you ate papaya or you've been thinking about getting papaya, I would say there's something in this reading for you. Yeah, you have the Devil, the Four of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. That's nice how my guides just said that to me. The shadow is larger than the object casting it. That's tea. That's really big tea, babe. I think this goes to show you, for a lot of you guys here, that what you're afraid of is actually worse than what it actually is. Like the fear that you have, the rampant imagination that you have about this thing is larger than what it actually is. Because with the Four of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Devil here, I think for a lot of you this is work, like being afraid to rock the boat at work. But there's really, like the way my guides are saying this to me is there's no other option. You know, if we are not getting what we need to be getting, if we are not making the money we need to make, or the job is just not doing what it needs to do for us, we have to speak up. There has to be a channel that you can go through. There has to be some sort of microphone that can amplify you right now, okay? But it feels like what you need to understand here is that the fear is bigger than the problem. The fear is bigger than the solution as well. You know, with the Eight of Pentacles here, you work really hard, Capricorn, at your job. Most Capricorns do. And I feel like some of you are a little afraid of being like personally slighted by something here or like personally offended. If you are emotionally connected to your work, babe, I hate to say this to you, but like sometimes we just take things personally. What can we really say? We can say, like, leave our stuff at the door, and that's fine and dandy. Maybe we don't bring our stuff through the door, but sometimes we do just take things personally. And I feel like what you need to, it's not so much separating yourself from the part of you that's going to take it personally, but recognize that if something personal does hurt you, it's not the end of your world. Let's say you're a painter and someone says, painting, that's very personal. You're putting your art out there. And someone says to you, you know what, Brian, I don't really like that painting you made. You know what? That's okay. You don't have to, but I like it. And that's what matters. Like if you are holding the pride and the good feelings about the things, when you get sort of, how do I explain this? It's almost like that acts as a buffer to the personal aspect of it. Yeah, okay, maybe I take it personally because like I literally produced it. So yeah, it is a little personal for me, but is it going to penetrate like a dagger to the heart? No. I'm going to say, you know what? I get it. That's fine. I worked really hard on it. It doesn't have to be for you. Do you see what I mean here, Capricorn? It's hard for me to explain this because it's almost like, yes, we're going to take things personal, but the more self-esteem you have and the more passion you put behind something, the less damage the personal aspect of it really does. If someone were to comment on this reading and be like, hey, this reading really didn't resonate with me, that's okay. Like, yes, this is personal. Yes, I'm a reader. Yes, it's personal. Yes, my face is connected to this. I'm on the internet, but because I'm so passionate about it and because I put so much heart behind it, it's like, okay, yeah, I wish it did resonate with you, but it's okay that it doesn't. Do you see what I mean? It's less of a death sentence, is the best way I could put it for you. In the past year, you do have the Four of Cups, so I do feel like you've dealt with quite a bit of rejection here, babe. Four of Cups is apathy. Maybe you've dealt with people that didn't really care about your craft or didn't really put effort into your craft. And so as a result, it makes sense that there's sort of this like rejection wound here, right? But my follow-up question to you is, when we have a rejection wound, why are we rejecting ourselves? Have we checked in with the self recently? Have we asked ourselves how we feel about our own craft, about our own journey, our own voice, our own world? Lovers, Ten of Wands. This could have been someone really close to you with the Lovers. Seven of Wands, yeah. Capricorn, I feel like at the core here in the past, one of the lessons that you learned here subconsciously was, it's almost like always be prepared to be let down. Always have this like really thick skin for when things fall apart around you. And I feel like what your guides are wanting you to recognize here is that this sort of defense mechanism, it comes forth when we're dealt with people that are not emotionally intelligent. So the example I'll give you is like, I grew up in a household where I was constantly told by adults as a child, like, things were not going to work out for me. You're going to fail that. This bad thing is going to happen. And so as a child and then moving into a young adulthood, I was always prepared by being like, okay, well, something bad's going to happen. Things are going well. I got to prep for something bad to happen. But I feel like what you need to recognize here, and same talk I had with myself, is that that is someone else projecting onto me. Someone else telling me something bad is going to happen is them laying out a map, really, that's not even mine, right? Because coming from the past here into the near future, you had the Lovers in the past, but you have the Lovers again in the future. So some of you may have a choice in which way to go, how to proceed about something. And if your choice is tainted by someone else's map, how are you going to take the path that aligns with you? I feel like that's the point here of what your guides are trying to make. You know, someone else gave you, yeah, Four of Cups, literally the exact position. It's, the cards are just swapping now. That's why we're talking about this. Four of Wands. If you're committed to the idea that someone else gave you, that things are never going to work out, the other shoe is always going to drop, and bad things are always abound, then that affects the road that you're walking on. It affects the scenery. It affects the way things look. It affects, quite frankly, everything around you and everything on that journey. So I feel like the point your guides, going back again, I feel like I said that before, going back to the point your guides are trying to make here is that husa, again, whose energy is this? Whose narrative is this? Whose life is this? Why am I listening to it? Okay, because this is how, I'm going to use the word, it's a strong one, abusers manipulate us. This is how people sink their claws and their fangs into us and change the way that we move and the way that we view the world and the way that we interact with our own path by telling us lies, by feeding it to us even from an early age. Okay, Capricorn, so you need to recognize here that this isn't your story. You know, this is someone else's narrative. It's not yours, babe. How you're viewing yourself right now is the Star in reverse, and you know it. This is literally what I just said to you. Star in reverse is lack of healing. It's not healing. You know that this was given to you by someone else. I think a lot of you, you're aware, but it's like you analyze your feelings. You don't feel them. And so as a result, I mean, you have the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. This could have been a paternal figure for you, a masculine figure in your life that gave these things to you. But with the Star in the reverse, I think some of you guys need to learn the line. It's like the walking the line of holding myself accountable without hurting my own feelings. You know, it's like holding myself accountable. Hey, I didn't do this thing. Hey, I need to do that. Hey, I need to do this, without being like, oh, I'm so stupid because I didn't do that, or I'm worthless because I didn't do that. You know? I feel like I have to sneeze. I think it just left. That's right. Normally, if I say it, it leaves me. Yeah, Five of Swords. You're aware you're self-sabotaging. Eight of Cups. Yeah, and then the Nine of Cups. I think this just goes back to, quite frankly, what I said to you guys before, of you're afraid of success. You're afraid of happiness. You fear it. And the shadow it casts is bigger than the thing. I think it's important and necessary for you guys this month to dig into your own psyche of why you're afraid to be successful. Is it a fear of I can't handle it? Is it I'm not equipped for it? Is it I'm not capable enough for this? What is the self-limiting belief system there? What's the mitigating factor keeping you from Nine of Cups, happiness, success, stability? Okay? Because the only way out is through. The only way out of this is by crashing headfirst into it and getting through it and then coming out on the other end. Because your superpower is the Six of Pentacles. Your superpower is really beautiful because it is the knowledge of, like, bad things have happened to me and I want to make sure they don't happen to other people. That's a really, really admirable trait, Capricorn. Okay, it's something that sets you apart from a lot of people. I always tell my collectives and my clients, people fall into two categories. One, I went through it, why shouldn't you? And two, I went through it, so I'm going to make sure no one else has to. Capricorn, you are the second category, and it is the more noble. It's the more benevolent of the two. Recognize that what you give out to the world will come back to you. Knight of Wands. Temperance. Exactly. Balance. It will come back. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah. I think something that's important as well for you guys, Capricorn, is that to recognize that you've done so much good for other people. And you need to ask yourself, if I were my own friend, which you should be, but if I were a friend to me, what would my advice be for me right now? What would I tell me? Okay, because with the Knight of Wands, the Temperance, and the Seven of Pentacles, I'm going to be a little brutal for a minute. You're not handling yourself with a lot of care right now. Okay, you're being a little bit, actually even a little cold, a little callous with yourself right now. And I feel like with the Seven of Pentacles, your guides want you to recognize that this is a pattern for you. This is something that's ongoing. It's something that has spanned years. And in order to start dismantling it, you have to show yourself the care that you've shown other people, the kindness, the respect, okay? That's the only way you're going to be able to start deconstructing and demolishing this pattern of not being kind to yourself, holding yourself to impossibly high standards. I want to remind you, when we hold ourselves to a standard that's so high that we will never reach it, it's an act of self-harm. Think about it. It's all the way up here. I'm never going to get to that. I'm just going to keep trying and trying and trying. And yes, I will get higher and higher and higher, but at some point there is sometimes we set an unreasonable expectation and an unrealistic goal. That's what I'm talking about here. Not just a difficult goal. I'm talking about something unreasonable. And then you set it there on purpose, knowing you'll never reach it. Do you see what I'm getting at here? And every time you don't reach it, what happens? You hurt. You just hurt yourself. Okay? That is part of this. That is the cycle. Be aware of that, because being aware is the first step to stopping it. Okay? Your fear and your hope is the Six of Swords. This is definitely more of a hope than a fear for me. Your hope is Six of Swords is moving on. Your hope is leaving it behind, walking away, letting go of all of this. Ace of Cups, bottom of the deck. Capricorn, you absolutely can do that. You just have to be a little bit more loving with yourself, a little bit kinder with yourself. The Empress, like I said in the beginning, this is a moment to reparent yourself right now, Capricorn. Two of Cups and the Empress. It's a moment to be kind. The way my guides are saying this also to me is like unwavering. Like, don't waver in your devotion to yourself. Okay? Empress, Two of Cups, Page of Swords. Even if we had a parent figure here, a parental figure that failed us, it's our jobs to repair that relationship we have with ourselves. You know, at the end of the day, it's not a great lesson to have to learn, but we ultimately have to reparent ourselves. You have the Empress here twice. I didn't even see that until now. And this exact cycle that we're talking about is how we start the reparenting process, is by looking at the cycles, dismantling them, getting rid of them, and making new cycles. Okay? Patterns are reinforced and reinstated over years. In order to get a new pattern, you have to get rid of the old one by creating a new one and then replaying and reinforcing the new one for years to come. Okay? Start now, Capricorn. Your outcome here is the Devil and the Emperor. Excuse me, the Empress. So the Devil is in this regard. This is Capricorn energy. So I do feel like with the Devil and the Empress here, it's almost like stepping into your own power and being excited by it is how I'm hearing this. It's like stepping into your own energy, remembering who you are, and then being like, oh, wait, I know this energy. I know this power. And then going with it, rolling with it. This is a really positive outcome, Capricorn. It's like coming home to yourself. It's a better way to put it, maybe. Yeah, we've got the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Three of Pentacles. It's not only coming home to yourself, but it's being able to rely on friends, connections, guides, ancestors, angels, anyone and everything that's around you. That's what this is about. Letting your walls down is only going to happen after you have healed. Okay? So it feels like, your outcome it's just so beautiful. It's letting people in. It's allowing good things to happen. It's allowing success to find you. And it's really transformative here, Capricorn. Okay? But in order to get there, again, we have to start dismantling, and we have to start getting rid of the systems here that you have in place with yourself that are keeping you stuck. Okay? All right, let's get you guys some oracle cards. I am just cleaning up because I'm a very messy reader. So I like to clean up the cards before I move on. Because sometimes I'll get to like the end of a video and I'll go to type on my keyboard and I can't even get to the keyboard. See, we have to be aware of our cycles in order to change it. So the oracle deck I'm using today is the Oracle of the Healing Waters by Rebecca Campbell. It's an absolutely beautiful deck. I love it. I've used it many times before. I love all of Rebecca's decks. They're all really, really good. So definitely check her. If you're looking for like daily oracle cards, I'm not sponsored or literally anything. But if you're looking for like daily oracle cards or anything of that sort, I always highly recommend Rebecca's decks. I guess I'm using her first name. No, I don't know her personally. Okay. What's the advice for Capricorn here, please? What's the advice for Capricorn here, please? Thank you. One more. Thank you. Okay, I'll take two more. All right. So we've got the Sacred Well, replenishment, self-care, giving from a place of plenty. Period. Capricorn, if we can't take care of ourselves, how can we take care of other people? You have Atlantis. Keep the big vision. Stay in alignment as you grow. Period. And then you have deep sea diving. Way of the mystic. Learn through experiencing. And depths. All right, Capricorn. You guys have, I don't want to say a tough month ahead of you, but a very intense month ahead of you guys, which means I also have a very intense month ahead of me because I have a Capricorn stellium. So, Capricorn, I believe that with you guys for today, that is your monthly forecast for October. Again, I'm sorry it is a bit late, but life happens. I don't have anything else to say. So, if this reading resonated with you or my reading style resonates with you, I would really appreciate it if you considered liking and subscribing. We are on the road to 200 subscribers, which is exciting. If you guys would like to interact with me on a live basis, I do go live 3 days a week on Twitch. You can find me Wednesday and Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST, as well as Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. EST. What was the last thing I had to say to you guys? Oh, there's also a Discord server. I was like, wait, I'm forgetting something. There's a Discord server. If you would like to join it, let me know. It is a really positive group of people, and it's where I keep all my updates about stream and everything like that. So let me know in the comments if you want the link to that. I can drop it below, or stop by stream. We are always the mods are always posting the link to Discord. So all right, Capricorn, I hope you guys have a fabulous day, morning, night, afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.